I tore myself out of my own time and arrived in California just as the first rumors of gold stopped sounding like rumors. It was 1848, and the land felt quiet in a way that made promises dangerous. Nobody had any idea yet what this place was about to take. At the beginning, hope still felt reasonable. Men spoke carefully, like if they didn't raise their voices, the future might stay kind. When the news spread, it didn't move like truth. It moved like fire. Fast, hungry, and impossible to reason with. By the time I understood what was happening, the world was already walking west. I stayed because I wanted to see what desire does when no one tells it to stop. Everyone believed that effort still mattered, that patience would be rewarded, that time was something you could trade fairly. I treated delay like a choice, not a habit. I told myself I was only here to observe, that staying a little longer wouldn't cost me anything. Weeks passed, then months, without ceremony. Hope stopped being a feeling and became a routine. Each morning felt the same, but no one said it out loud. Saying it would have made it real. By 1849, the camps were crowded and restless. People smiled often, but their eyes stayed busy, measuring, comparing, calculating. I heard the phrase everywhere, just a little longer. It sounded harmless. It sounded responsible. Men began speaking in numbers instead of sentences, ounces, days, distances. Everything else felt like a distraction. Some found enough to leave early. Most found just enough to stay. Winter came, and patience became expensive. Stillness started to feel like failure. By the second year, exhaustion disguised itself as purpose. People mistook endurance for meaning. Men disappeared quietly. Not dramatically, just absent one morning, like they'd been edited out of the story. I saw myself in the ones who stayed too long and ignored it. I do have this faded memory of packing once, but the truth is, I never planned on leaving. When I finally held proof in my hands, it felt smaller than the waiting, smaller than the years I traded for it. I remember thinking this should feel like arrival, but it didn't, so I stayed longer, needing it to mean more than it did. Another year passed, and then another. Leaving without an ending felt worse than staying without one. The camps thinned, the noise softened into something heavier, a silence that knew everybody's name. I stopped counting the days. Then I stopped noticing when seasons changed. At some point, hope crossed into injustice, insistence that more effort could justify the time already lost. By the early 1850s, the land looked older than us. I realized the rivers never promised anything. We were the ones who made the vows. The gold rush didn't end loudly. It thinned, stretched, and quietly forgot itself. People left carrying less than they arrived with, most left with no gold at all. When I finally stepped away, I didn't feel lighter, just quieter, like someone who stayed past the moment a story stops needing them. You see, gold was never the thing we were chasing. It was the belief that effort could save us from regret. I returned to my own time, but California never really let me go. Some part of me is still there, waiting just a little bit longer. Thanks for staying on this journey with me. In California, people chased fortune on their own. But more than 2,000 years earlier, that same human drive took a different shape. Welcome to the very first Olympic Games.